Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the My Lead System Pro Member of the Month interviews. My name is Patricia Sweeney, L4 Leader and MMT member here at My Lead System Pro, and it is really my great pleasure and honor to welcome Mrs. Erin Birch for our October 2015 Member of the Month interview because, of course, she is our chosen Member of the Month. So first, congratulations, Erin. It's really a huge, huge, huge honor, and I'll dig into that in a sec, but welcome to your interview.
Thank you so much, Patricia. I'm thrilled to be here. Thrilled.
Well,
absolutely, totally honored for this. This is incredible.
Well, I got the privilege of meeting you at LTD6, which is our most recent Live the Dream event. And, and I think actually the morning we were leaving, I was like, hey, do you want to live for the airport?
Yeah.
Because I had met you and you were just so like open and friendly and warm. And I was totally happy to like hang out and drive to the airport with you. Which of course you handled it because you're an entrepreneur and you get things done. But I saw you at the event and just doing your thing. And what I didn't realize was that really you were kind of new to this internet marketing thing and that you had just made some decisions and you got yourself there and put yourself in a place to win. And you know what? The fact that you're here today really is a testament to your entrepreneurial spirit and the type of go-getter that you are. And for those of you that are not super familiar with My Lead System Pro, let me just let you know that we're the #1 attraction marketing system on the planet since 2008, and pretty much any major industry player in internet marketing and network marketing has really come through our doors. We've had over 100,000 members over these years, and it's still a lot of people's playing ground, right? They still lead with My Lead System Pro to grow their businesses and then to also expand into other profit centers, because while we do have a lot of network marketers and affiliate marketing and all this, it's really a place to get the foundation to grow any type of business or brand that you choose. And so it's really exciting with our new tools and all the cool developments that we're always coming out with to really see what people do with it and where they come from. And so again, out of that huge, amazing pool of business folks and internet marketers and entrepreneurs, you really stood out. And so I just want to acknowledge you for just being yourself and taking the action and doing the work, because ultimately you're impacting other people's lives in a positive way while you're building your business. So again, congratulations from myself and the entire community.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be in this position. I mean, I was looking at all the past members of the month, and to be included in that list of people is unbelievable. I mean, I pinch myself every day to where I am now. Yeah. Huge. My life is so completely different since I started MLSP. I can't even believe it's my life.
Well, tell us about that. Where were you and like how did you find it and why? Why say yes to the event? Why say yes to the mastermind? Kind of take us into your world and tell us what it's really done for you.
Well, basically, I have been a jewelry designer for the last 17 years. Self-taught. I started out beading when my first child was born. I decided I was going to stay at home and not go back to my job where I was making $11 an hour, working crazy hours. I wasn't going to put my son in daycare and have somebody else raise him and have my entire income go to daycare. That was absolutely out of the question. So I decided to come up with a craft I could do from home and then sell on weekends when my husband could be with our baby. So I started making jewelry, and I've been doing that for 17 years. And I've worked a ton of hours. I kind of calculated out I was making about $4 an hour. I was working so many hours.
But it was on your own terms, right?
Yeah. I loved it, but I wasn't making that much money, but it helped. I mean, I was paying for the groceries, that kind of thing. And in the last couple of years, I've watched as show fees have gotten more and more expensive, and attendance for the shows. I was doing craft fairs and art shows and things. The attendance was going down because everybody shops online. Every year online sales go up and show attendance was going down. So, and then things in my life changed. My husband and I had split up, And I was, what happens when a marriage breaks up? It's expensive for everybody. And I was determined to keep my house so that my kids could stay in the same house and go to the same school. So basically, I needed to at least triple my income to make all this happen. And my son was in grade 11 at the time. I'd like to help my kids do whatever they want to do after they finish high school. So I need to triple my income. So I was trying to figure out what the heck am I going to do? I've been an at-home mom jeweler for 17 years. I don't have a degree. What am I going to do? So I had friends who said, take a business course at the college or go get a part-time job at the grocery store. Well, when you've been self-employed for 17 years, the idea of working for somebody else is out of the question. It's just, no, it's not going to happen. I would have if I had to, but that was an absolute last resort. So I was on Facebook and I saw this product and I thought, okay, that's it. This stuff is amazing. I can sell this. It's sales. I've been in sales all my life. I can do this. So I joined. I spent a ton of money on product, gave samples out to everybody I met, everybody I knew, mailed it out, spent money having a website built, spent money on extra trainings. I was doing the training from the MLM company, but it never seemed like it was enough. It wasn't specific enough. I had signed up a couple people I knew, but they weren't as serious about building a business as I was. So I wasn't getting anywhere with it. I wasn't getting any results, even with the extra trainings I was doing. I was working so many hours and working so hard and getting no results that it became crystal clear I was doing it wrong. I was doing it wrong. I knew there were many people out there who were making a lot of money in this industry, and I wasn't, so I was doing it wrong. So I decided I would either quit and go get that job at that grocery store and be miserable, or I was going to figure it out and do what the top earners, what successful people were doing. So I went online to find the answer, and what I came across was Brian's video, that fabulous 25-minute introductory video to MLSP. And I watched that video, and it was like, ping, light bulb moment. I saw the potential with MLSP very quickly. So, $10, 10-day trial was a no-brainer to me. It took me all of 30 seconds once that video was done to sign up.
Yeah.
And I got into the training right away, and within the first 5 minutes, I was just like, oh my God, this is the solution. I was in tears. I was so sure that this was the solution I needed to become a pro that it was an extremely dramatic reaction to me. And I knew darn well that this isn't going to be a hobby. This is a profession. I was now going to have to learn a whole new profession if I wanted to be successful. Mm-hmm. So, I did go into it with the right mindset for sure. Mm-hmm. So at that moment, I was 100% committed to learning the skill sets, doing the training, learning how to use the tools that were provided by MLSP. And I was going to become a pro. Absolutely. I've never faltered in my belief that this was the solution. So, yeah.
Well,
I mean,
but I have goosebumps, right? So
I have goosebumps every day, to be honest with you.
Isn't it amazing? It's one of those things that you just know it, right, when you get it. And I remember the first time I got into the community and was like in our Facebook group, because our Facebook group was amazing. Like, it's the most supportive place in the entire world that you've ever been. And I just remember thinking, right, because I've been 2.5 years now, I've been with Molly Sister Pro, and that's really been what I've led my business with, what the foundation of my business is, right? Because I didn't know anything about internet marketing either. And I got in there and I remember thinking, these are my people, right?
Yeah.
They get it. Wow. Yeah. Oh my gosh, where have they been all my life? But there's a couple of really key things that you said that I really want to pull out, because I think that they're so universal to what every person who decides that they need to reinvent their reality, right? You did that because you said, I need to triple my income. And for those of you listening, listen to what this woman put into her future, the possibility she created for herself. She said, I am going to triple my income. And I mean, take a minute to absorb what would that mean for you? What would that mean for you in your life right now? If you make $1,500 a month and you want to triple your income, if you make $3,000 a month and you want to triple your income, what kind of freedom and lifestyle would that give you? You know, what kind of weight would be lifted off of your chest and off of your shoulders, and this a massive relief, you know, because I was there, and I mean, I know exactly, guys, and if you're there, this was a solution for myself. It was a solution for Erin, and that's why we do these, because, you know, we want to showcase Mrs. Birch for you because she's just such an amazing example of someone who made a choice and carried through with it, and now it's impacting not only her life in any way that she wants it to, in a very positive way. And we'll get to some of the cool things that you've been able to do in 5 months in here in a second. But everyone who hears your story, everyone that you share with, you're giving them the opportunity to create their own future as well. And that, I think, is really beautiful, you know. And how many people, you know, would have the courage to say, well, it's not working, so I was doing it wrong, so let me work on me, right? That's when you said that you really went into this with the correct mindset. You know, you started your jewelry business. You said it was a craft. I wanted a craft that I could do from home. And how long did it take you to learn how to design and create jewelry? You know,
yeah, it was an ongoing process. That's what happens when you build a business.
Exactly. And so you brought that same mentality to your marketing business and then said, oh, wait a minute, now this really needs to become more internet marketing so I can talk to more people than just my friends and family. And so just the differentiation of having that thought when you weren't getting the results that you wanted. It wasn't that the business didn't work or the model was broken or it's a scam or, you know, any of that stuff that people kind of give excuses to. You really said, look, I was doing it wrong, and I just needed to explore it a little bit more. I needed to look at myself, my life, how did I want to do this? And you said you went to the leaders and just really figured out what were they doing, and you just followed the path to the logical conclusion. They didn't have the training. You didn't have the training and tools that they had, and you just knew that you had to get them, you know? And so I just wanted to really hone in on some of that, what you said, because I think it's so, so important for our listeners to hear that and get that message if they resonate with anything in your story. And anyone who's ever had a business, who's ever had to reinvent their entire life from scratch and decide who they were going to be from now on, who would like to triple their income, who's ever struggled in network marketing or direct sales business and just feels like they don't know what to do, then there you go, right? Erin's already given you the answer. So in the 5 months since you got started with Molly System Pro, you have, let's see, over 350 leads from someone who had never
I had never heard of a lead before.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of a lead. I thought HTML was Hotmail. Did you know this? I learned to copy and paste the day I joined MLSP.
That's awesome.
That's the extent of my technical skills.
I think that's amazing. Well, and so you don't have to be a tech genius, right, to figure it out.
Absolutely not.
The training's right there for you.
Yeah.
So for not even knowing what a lead was, and for those of you that don't know, right, because sometimes you forget, but people don't know the lingo if they're so new. Well, a lead is someone who is interested enough to give you their name and email address on what we call an opt-in page, which of course My System Pro will give you lots of those to use. And then they're basically saying, hey, I'm interested. Tell me what it is that you have going on here. And then you as a marketer can decide how to reach out to them. Do you just email them on autopilot? Do you call them? It's up to you, right? However you decide to work your business that way and contacting your leads. So from just having a few friends and family that said yes to your MLM, right, to not knowing who else to talk to, you generated 350 people who were super interested in what it is you had going on in your business, which I think is amazing. You know, that's like filling a room full of people who are just really waiting to hear your message. And no matter what you're trying to put out into the marketplace, that's a powerful, powerful thing. So you've had over 27 signups into My System Pro. There's 27 people in less than 5 months now that have said, hey, I want to do this thing with you. And then in 1 week, you had 8 people say yes. So what I see is this momentum that you've created for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously you hit L1 and then you had L2, which is your leadership levels inside of MLSP, which are a really big deal. And I know that you're right there at the cusp of L3. And the way that you're going, you're not stopping. So I know that that's a foregone conclusion, right? It's just a matter of maybe a couple more weeks for you. And that's a big deal. It's a very big deal. And so what are you doing, kind of every day in your business to create this momentum and get these results that you're having in your business?
Well, when I first went into network marketing, I assumed it was sales and kind of had that mentality until I joined MLSP and learned attraction marketing and learned that this industry, this is far more about relationships than it is sales. It's like the sales are a byproduct of when you learn to brand yourself and position yourself as a leader and become a leader. The sales and signups just come. It's far more about relationships than sales. So that was a huge shift in my thinking. That made all the difference in the world. All the difference in the world. Absolutely.
So you're predominantly on Facebook, and so instead of being the person who was saying, "Hey, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff,"
none of that. Nope.
So what are you doing, on Facebook to sort of introduce yourself to people as this, strong lady who can create triple my income, reinvent her life, put her kids through college, keep her house, attend live events, rub elbows with 6 and 7, 8-figure earners in this industry, and is ready to show everybody how to do the same thing, right? Like, how do you go about daily introducing yourself as that person that you are to the marketplace?
Well, basically, I'm a very social person. Mm-hmm. And who would have thought me being so chatty could earn me such a great income? So I just go out and I'm simply just being myself, and I'm making friends all over the world. And as we all know, 97% of network marketers are struggling and really, really need MLSP if they ever want to make a good income in this industry. So I make friends, and then I get to help people. That, honestly, that is the formula for me. I make friends and I help people, and I introduce them to the system, and I get to work with all these fantastic people, and it's so much fun because people come into the system, they're like, well, yeah, okay, I'll give it a shot, 10-day trial. Who wouldn't do that? 10 days for $10, and then you don't hear from them for a couple days because they're doing the training. And then they contact you, they call you, and you get reactions like, oh my God, this system is amazing. Yeah. I was just talking to one of my guys, and he was saying, there's no way I cannot succeed with this system. And people.
What a mindset for people, right?
Oh gosh. I'm working with people who are like thanking me for helping change their life. And one of the most thrilling things about working with these people and bringing them into the system is you've watched how they've marketed on social media previously, and they're doing everything I did wrong, spamming their product, the before and after pictures. Join me. I only have 3 spots this week. All right. Who believes that? You've got 1,000 spots open, I'm pretty sure. But, and then you watch these people in a matter of a day or two when they go inside MLSP. They start, you see them again on social media, on Facebook or wherever, and their marketing is completely different. Yeah. They go from amateur to professional in a matter of a day or two. Yeah. And it's thrilling to see the difference in people's marketing so quickly because of MLSP.
That's awesome.
Never gets boring, I'll tell you. Never gets boring.
Well, that's so cool. And, it's really, I love the fact that, you're a leader for the people that you're sharing with, right? Not only by example, but that obviously you're involved, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're watching, you're helping, you're encouraging, you're giving them advice, and I love that because I think ultimately a lot of people will come in for, and this is sort of a saying in internet marketing in general, right? People will buy your product, but they stick around for your community. And I
Mhm.
absolutely, hands down, have never seen a community that is more supportive and more willing to help and stand for someone else's success. And, you know, because I think when people get started with this, and I'm sure you've seen this too, maybe, I don't know about yourself, because like you already were like, nope, I know it's me, I got to fix me, like what I know how to do, right? And like figure it out. But a lot of people will get in and they'll get the vision and they'll change the way that they're marketing. But then, you know, in their mind, whatever situation that they found themselves in that they needed to find a solution, that means a lot of times that they're kind of coming at their business from a place of desperation, right? So they're like, I need it to work now. I need it to work yesterday. I really needed it to work 3 weeks ago, right? Before I ever even got started. And so nothing ever happens quite fast enough. And so when they're marketing sometimes, when that sort of comes up for them emotionally, people will sometimes sort of switch back, you know, and they kind of like, well, I get it, I get the whole concept, but you know what, that's not going to work for me. So I need to go do this, and I need to put my links out there some more, because you know people get a
Mhm.
little freaked out because they want it to happen now. But I have noticed, because I noticed you when you came on, because you had this presence about you that you were just yourself and you were very genuine. That's why I was super pumped to meet you. I totally knew who you were when you came to Live the Dream. And I was like, it's Erin. And I was really so excited for you when you walked across stage and you got your award. And I was like, that lady knows what's up. And because you have this way about you that you kind of have this calmness, right? And you just have this surety with what you're doing. And I think it's powerful, not only for your business, but for the people that are kind of learning from you and watching you. So, and the next question is always, what's your piece of advice for someone else who's struggling? But I guess I basically want to know, how do you do that? I think it's a piece of advice that people need, because I see that transition in people, you know, where they get scared, you know, well, I need it to be now, right? Instead of just standing firm with what they're learning to be that professional that you mentioned. So if you have advice in that direction, please give it. And then any other advice that you want to give for someone who might be struggling.
Well, really, I think when you go into a whole new industry, you have to treat it as learning a new profession.
Mm-hmm.
So having expectations that you're going to make $5,000, $10,000 in your first month is simply unrealistic. You know, keep your day job, work your 8 hours and get paid for those 8 hours if that's what you're expecting. You know, you have to go into this willing to learn the whole new profession and put your hours in, build your business, have it gain momentum, and because it'll just kind of go like this, and then it's like this,
Yeah.
and you know, and then you can get to a certain point where you can simply maintain.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to, with any business, it has to be built. You can't walk in from day one and expect to make a whole bunch of money. You know, you've got to learn those skill sets. If you're going to be in marketing, you have to learn to market.
Yeah.
For me, it was just so black and white. If you're not willing to invest in yourself to learn the skill sets, then just keep your day job and stay miserable. I wasn't prepared to, you know, be unhappy. If you're unhappy, change it, right? If it's not working, change it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love it. Well, and that's, I'm just saying, like, right, it's very black and white for you. And I think that's the part that people are missing, you know, and I think that's what really makes you an amazing leader and someone that people can really be inspired by, because you really, that is it, right? That's you. This is the way that it is, and this is how I'm going to grow my business and build my life around what works and what doesn't work for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, because I asked you before we got started, I said, you were so brand new, right, to our community. What made you say yes to coming to our Live the Dream live event that we had in Austin, Texas at the end of July, which was a couple months ago? And then I know that you also said yes to our mastermind that we're having in April this coming up year, which is a really amazing. I love our masterminds. I was at our
I
last
can't
one,
wait.
and it was just phenomenal. But being so new, right? Like, I guess that was sort of the whole thing that you just said. Is that's the reason that you said yes to all that?
Absolutely. I was so sure about the potential with MLSP, and I was so sure that this was going to be my future that even doing the retreat was a no-brainer. I mean, I took out a line of credit against my house to make all that happen because I was so sure.
Mm-hmm.
And there has never been a second where I've questioned that. I mean, this is an investment in my future. It's an investment in my education. And also, just a point that I want to make clear, another reason I consider it an investment is, let's face it, the internet isn't going anywhere. So if you learn the skill sets to market online, you are creating such total job security for yourself. When you become a master marketer, you can take anything and market it online and make money. I mean, I was at my hairdresser and I was talking about retargeting pixels. And they're like, oh, can we hire you to do that for us? I'm like, oh my gosh, I could take what I am learning in a million different directions. I will never ever lack for money again because of the skill sets I have learned in MLSP. And talk about, there's nothing like feeling secure about your future.
Yeah.
You know, I have no worries about my future now. I had no money saved up for retirement. I'm 45 years old. Basically, you know, 9 months ago, I had a reality check, a good kick in the pants, and realized, you know, those dreams of retiring at 55 were never going to happen unless I made some really good money in the next 10 months. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm going to do that in MLSP, without a doubt.
Well, and again, goosebumps. Thank you for that. Literally, because I mean, how many people are in that situation, right? Where they have a job, but is your job really secure, right? And then are you really looking at the trends in the marketplace? Are you getting ahead of them? Because like you said, I mean, hey, if you're not paying attention to what's going on in terms of like consumerism and how much the internet plays a part in that, and yeah, just broaden the possibility of what you can do, and you will never be hungry, right? Like your kids will never be hungry. Your bills will never not be paid if you realize that you're powerful enough to create that for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And for a lot of people, you know, services bridge the gap between, you know, where they want to be and then where they are now and where they want to be. So like, for instance, so many of our members, and even myself, like I went from not knowing anything to knowing some stuff, right? And I took that to the marketplace, and I actually became a consultant and like a media consultant and a marketing manager for different companies as like a consultant. And then I took that income, and that allowed me to get away from the day job, right? And then that allowed me to really focus and attend more events and create new connections, which if I had a day job, I wouldn't have been able to do. So it was very much this linear transition for myself at first, and then it just went like this, just like you said.
Yeah.
And anybody can experience that, because I know you're doing that. And so many of our success stories will tell you the exact same thing. So, man, such good stuff. I love it. So after this interview, when people are watching it, Erin, I know they're going to want to reach out to you and just hear more about what it is you're doing, where you're going, how you got started, and see if you can help them too. So please.
I'd love to help people.
Yeah, I know you. I can tell, right?
That's become my passion. The money is now secondary. Being able to help people, especially parents, you know, people who want to stay at home with their kids, has become my passion, my absolute passion. I mean, it makes me cry every day with the messages I get from people, and oh, it's just so awesome.
Well, it's a beautiful way to like build you, right? Is you're only doing that when you help other people, and I think that's what's so, I think, magical in a way for what we have our hands on. And anybody can step into that, because I think in normal business, it feels not so nice sometimes, right? You got to trick this guy or charge them more, or you know, just kind of feels kind of skeezy sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I love about this.
Yeah.
I mean, you just go out and you be yourself, and you've got the solution to help people, and all you do is offer it and help them. I mean, it's fantastic. Also, what I just wanted to make a point about the fabulous community of MLSP. That's one reason that made me go to live the dream in a second. I mean, where else do you find a community of people, so many 6 and 7 figure income earners who have spent years honing their skill sets and their craft, and they just turn around and share all of their knowledge with all of us members. I mean, they're just so giving. And why not, you've got to be crazy to not take advantage of the knowledge these people, these leaders have, acquired over years, and they just turn around and teach it to us. It's like, oh my gosh, really? Yeah, fantastic.
Well, it's kind of like being able to get into the community. It's like you were able to sort of swim through all the muck, right? Because go online anywhere and search how to make money or how to do this and how to do that. It's like this overload of information. It's almost like this lovely place of integrity of information. It's like the information is good because it's not something that someone else read in the book. It's stuff people are actually actively doing today.
Yes.
To build their businesses, and that's what we teach, right? That's what gets shared. And we even have free trainings, like multiple times throughout the week for people who aren't even members to plug into, just because it's like, hey, this is something people need to know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so yeah, it is. It's an amazing, amazing place to be, and we're so very excited to have you as part of our community and as an L2 and almost an L3 leader, and I'm so excited to have you around more and more and more so that you can contribute back to the community, because I know it'll be impactful for everyone. But how can people reach you? And so your website, your Facebook page, how do you want people to get in touch with you?
You can totally reach out to me on Facebook, of course, and my website, which is just about, I think, today to go into action, is Erin Birch, ERINBIRCH.info. So that is my new blog, the new blog inside MLSP, which is absolutely amazing. I never thought I would be able to have a blog because I'm so untechy, and it's huge, absolutely huge. If I can do this industry, anyone can, honestly. Anyone can do this. You just have to be willing to learn the skill sets. Take that 10-day test drive. Absolutely, absolutely. Why not invest in yourself for the price of a Starbucks a day to be able to earn, potentially $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 a month for the price of a Starbucks? Go for it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and of course, we have a money-back guarantee. So
yes, even that, which is crazy.
So if you decide that you'd rather have your Starbucks, then we'll give you your money back, and you can go get it, and that's fine with us.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of value you get for so little money is crazy. Don't tell the guys that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Crazy amount of value.
So awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, and congratulations again for being chosen as Member of the Month. It's really a huge, huge deal, and I'm just so excited for you to just sort of enjoy this month and the notoriety and the attention that it brings to who you're being, because we're very excited for what you're creating, not only for yourself, but for other people. And for those of you who haven't checked out Miley System Pro yet, go to MLSP.com, and you can see the test drives and the trials and all the other amazing things that we offer right there on the website. And believe you me, also feel free to search it online, and you'll find one of our awesome leaders out there promoting and doing the things that they do if you need any additional questions answered for you. So thanks again, Erin, and congrats, and we'll see you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Patricia. Bye.